Our next panel will have Amandeep Sandhu in conversation with Prema Revathi in Punjab, the unknown narrative. I'd like to request the panelists to come on stage.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm really honored, I feel privileged to introduce Amandeep Sandhu. Some of you might have heard him talk in the previous session where he was moderating. I heard a very brilliant session. To me, Amandeep's writing is written 2 novels, and he's writing his non-fiction book, which is to come later this year. But Amandeep's writing and the concerns Amandeep has is closer to Tamil Nadu, I felt, when I'm reading it. But I read him only because of the Litfest, so I should thank Litfest, which is a pity, you know, because we end up being in these holes. We think of similar things, we have similar concerns, but still we are like bound by certain notional lines where we think our problem is very different. And reading about Punjab made me feel like our problems are so like, and they're unlike also. I'm not saying it's just the same, but there's so many concerns that the Punjabis have, or Amandeep puts forward in his writing, which are very, very close to the Tamil situation also, the Tamil Nadu situation also, and the Tamil situation also. Actually, I wanted to start off this by talking about, today is Pongal, as all of you would know, which is the farmers' festival. And this year, I think as of now, the toll stands at 165 former suicides and deaths in Tamil Nadu because of the monsoon failing, Kaveri water not reaching. And it's really a very sad Pongal for the Kaveri Delta today. I also work in the Kaveri Delta. So it is a very difficult Pongal. And Amandeep has also written about farmer suicides in Punjab, which is a headline already, you know. Tamil Nadu is actually getting into there now. And he writes about identity and issues of farm and labor, and how this whole identity of being a Punjabi is complicated. Somewhere, not exactly similar, but somewhere similar, parallel to the way this whole Tamil identity that we have built over years, the struggles that we have done and the kind of nationhood that we always imagine is also complicated. And how this whole question of nationalism is trying to whitewash the entire thing in broad strokes. And I was recently at this theatre workshop and the theme was nationalism. And I said, what nationalism? To me, nationalism is Tamil nationalism, because that's what I've always heard about. That's what we always discussed. We criticized, we owned up, or we didn't. So I'll start. The first question is, how does this nationalism thing apply in Punjab? And how do you see it connecting to?
Thank you very much. Nationalism is a big bogey word nowadays, you know, and I think day before yesterday 3 people were rounded up in a Chennai cinema for not standing up to the national anthem, you know. Just before coming, I was asking some of my Punjabi friends in Punjab, how is it going? Are you standing twice for the movie Dangal, you know? And some said, well, I didn't stand. Some said, yeah, we stood. And then one guy replies, and then I ask others if this is happening, and he says, you know, I have been asking this question to my friends, and they're all saying, no, we don't stand up, and we are waiting for those to come and tell us to stand up. Then we'll bash them up. You know, because when you talk of nationalism, at least as far as the subcontinent, the Indian subcontinent goes, Punjab wears this nationalism on its chest. For 3,000 years at least, before even this nation was there or anything was there, Punjab has been lacerated by this nationalism. Just when the Uri attack happened, the Punjab government ordered the villages to move back 10 kilometers. So I went down to those villages. In Kalra, in Khemkarn, in Fazilka, in Husainiwala, various places around the border. And I'm asking them, so how does it feel? You know, this is the 7th time you have been moved back. You moved back in 47, you moved back in 65, you moved back in 71, you moved back when Operation Prakram happened, Operation Brass Tacks happened, Kargil happened, and now again you are moving back. And I'm trying to catch hold of old people, those who would have lived 47, to ask them this large question, comparative moving back. Wars are happening all the time. Wars are created in the television studios of Delhi nowadays. But these are the people who are moving, and their crop was standing. A standing crop, a farmer doesn't abandon it for whatever. And there is this young man I meet on the road. He's wearing 2 plastic gunny sacks on his legs, one green, one white. And he said, "What are you asking these old people? Ask me." I said, "Okay, you tell." He said, "The first day the notification came, I have 1 bike, but I have a family of 5, including my old mother. I had to do 2 rounds to take them to relatives. And that night I couldn't give water to my cattle." I said, "Then?" He said, "The next day I went to give water to the cattle and feed them, and the BSF asks me, do you have some milk to spare?" I said, "My cow hadn't drank water all night. What milk will she give?" Then they said, "But we have been standing here for 24 hours. We are very hungry." So he said, "Then I cooked for them and I fed them. Next day I gave them milk also. But 4th day we moved back because nothing was happening. And Delhi TV studios and nation is going all gaga, we are fighting this war with Pakistan." And I said, "Then?" He said, "Then the same BSF tells our women not to go into the fields. We don't have toilets in our houses." I said, "And why is the BSF saying that?" They said, "Because it is unfamiliar movement in the fields, it could be enemy." So women are like now at home and they can't go to the toilets. And this is where nationalism is being fought. And then I said, "Then?" He said, "Then we pleaded, we cajoled, and finally they allowed the women to go. And I was there on day 5. And I said, "And what are you doing today?" He said, "I'm making this road." He was on Manrega work, making the road. I said, "Why? If the army comes, they need a road, no? So I'm making this road for them." That is how Punjab lives its nationalism. And I asked the old people, which war was the best war? What a bad question that is to ask. And they say 65. Because in 65 war, we didn't even know when the army crossed our village and took position in the border and started fighting. Then we just stuck here. We cooked for them, we served them, we stepped by them throughout the war period. And that's how India won 65. I'm like, this is not the narrative of nationalism when these Sanghis or these BJPs or these, saffron colored people talk nationalism. Punjab's nationalism is very different. It won't stand token for the national anthem. It won't. It doesn't care. When India celebrates its freedom, Punjab cries in grief. Because that is when a size twice Chennai today, people were displaced. 16 million people. 1 million people died. What kind of nation is this? Punjab bleeds through its heart for country, but the country doesn't recognize it. Sorry.
Thank you. It's quite emotional, and actually reading Amandeep's writing, I feel the way he gets into the subject matter is also through those stories, stories of ordinary people whom we generally don't encounter in most of our English fiction writing also. Even in his fiction, the stories of ordinary people waging ordinary battles of the mind and battles at homes, battles on the streets. So my next question is, you're one of those very few mind-blowingly writing fiction writers in English in India, and why would you choose to write a non-fiction book?
Well, my reason to work with Punjab, I don't know whether Kartika has come in or not, because I'm waiting for her to come. But Kartika and I are like lovers on the Grecian urn, we can't ever meet. We keep chasing each other forever. So now she's quit in the publication which is going to publish me. So, but my reason to write on Punjab is actually, I don't know, midlife. I'm trying to educate myself, really, because my education in Punjab was truncated. I studied school there, and then the terrorists and the police both pulled their guns on me. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? I left because I had somewhere else to go. My parents were living in Odisha. And Punjab I don't have an address there, I don't have relatives there, I don't have real connections there over the last 1.5 years. I've traveled around 150 days and there's not been a single night where I paid for food or dinner or sleep, like somebody or the other hosted me. So I made lots of friends in Punjab, But my reasons to do Punjab is something which we can't really see, which is my blood. And this post-truth is a new term, and this, what is now currently playing out in the country ever since the right wing is in power is a new phenomena for us. We are all finding ways of how to deal with it. But Punjab has been living this for the last 25 years anyway. And this whole, which is your country, which is your region, what is your identity, what is right, what is wrong, everything has gone mixed in Punjab. Today I step into Punjab, it's a minefield of counter narratives. Nobody knows what is the narrative, but everybody knows, everybody has a counter narrative to it, So the idea of Khalistan, the idea of India, the idea of Sikhi, the idea of caste, the idea of zamindari, the idea of Jat Sikh, the idea of women, So I'm like, I almost lost the whole of last year, because whenever I would go there and come back, I would feel very charged in Punjab, very, very charged. I won't even think about anything, just experiencing that. But I would come back and I would go sadder and sadder, because middle class, English educated, privileged India, like me at least, we sit on social media and regular media and write and make opinions and shape discourses in the country, but we have no idea of what is playing out in the villages. We have no sense of what is going on the ground. I'm not a good writer at all. In fact, I'm midway of there comes Kartika, my Grecian lover, with a permanent epoch. So, and we think we know caste, we know gender, we know this issue, but we don't know what is playing out on the ground. Whatever imagination we might carry, it's just not like that. And that's why our good writers today are the ones who are really writing on the ground. And I was sitting in a very nice fellowship in a palace in Stuttgart, and I was composing my third novel. And I just felt that I don't know my state. I have to go and find out. And that's why Kartika and I have had a long association. We have been trying to work together for 1.5 decades. And then book proposal went to her and she said, yes, this is what was needed, and good, you can do it now. But it's really to educate myself. I am in great threat from my own religion, because I don't know which day they will ban me, So I just feel very greedy to get as many insights into Punjab, because I don't know when they will stop me from coming there, or if they do a fatwa on me or something like that, which I expected with the second novel. And then somebody came up and said, 10,000 rupees it takes to get a fatwa. I said, really? He said, yeah, give it to a granthi in a gurdwara and they will say, oh, this book is blaming Bidra wale, and that will be enough of a fatwa on you. I said, yeah, that's the deal, and just then this Lieutenant General Brar was attacked, and it was a clear chance that anybody could have given a spin to the book. But I was like, okay, I have still one more book, maybe 2 more books. Maybe Punjab will keep extending its warm heart to me. But I see the decay in there. And that decay bothers me deeply. And the decay is very, very, because every notion we have of Punjab, I see it collapsing. And that's why I'm doing this book.
Yeah, you actually mentioned the casualty of geography and many other casualties. Could you actually share that with these viewers here?
Yeah. Punjab is a casualty of geography. You can't help where you are located in the world, Punjab is located, the ancient Punjab is located from the Spingar mountains, from the Khyber Pass, up to Delhi, right? This current state of India, Punjab, is 1/7 of that great Punjab, which used to be. Since it is there, Central Asia, Macedonians, Greeks, Scythians, Southern Russians, Mongols, Huns, everybody has come in through the Khyber Pass into the subcontinent. So it is also a casualty of its history. When all of these have come in, they will naturally want to rule, they will want to plunder, they will want to invade, they will want to trade, they will bring cultures, they will bring experiences, and it becomes a casualty of politics as well. And yet, what does India look at Punjab? Oh, great land of soldiers. I mean, do I have a choice? You know, my house is somewhere on the road, yeah, and everybody is coming and beating me down. I have to fight him, no? Like, what choice do I have? Has Punjab asked to become the hero of the country? It hasn't. Oh, but this is the great land of soldiers. This is the great land of farmers. Punjab, in the last century, it stood between India and hunger. It created the Green Revolution. 28% food of the country was coming from 1.5% of the country's land. Now I hear critiques of it. Oh, you killed ragi and jowar in Karnataka. Of course we killed it, I'm very sorry. But India also killed us. Because paddy was not a crop of Punjab at all. Oh, but you are the land of 5 rivers, you have ample water, grow paddy. Today, 118 out of 136 zones of Punjab are in the dark. Basically, that the groundwater cannot be used anymore. So Punjab has been these casualties of geography, of history, of politics, of image. But at this point in time, post 2 mis-revolutions in the last 50 years, the Green Revolution and the Khalistan Revolution, Punjab is a casualty of trust. You don't know what to believe. You can't even believe your religion. You can't believe your ideology. You can't believe the state. You can't believe your neighbor. You can't believe your family member. And that's why Punjab is now this, the story that goes on. I mean, one good reason why I'm working, sorry to go back to a previous question, is like in the 4 decades of my life, the narrative of Punjab has changed in every decade. First decade was soldiers and farmers. Second decade was enemies. Operation Blue Star, Khalistan, this, that. Third decade was a voting process in which 23% people voted and a government was created, and we just obliterated the whole post-conflict mayhem of Punjab, which included 5 years of president's rule, which meant enormous powers to the police and thousands of disappearances and deaths. And in the 4th generation now, deras and drugs and migration. So I can't make sense of my story of Punjab. It's like this, that. What is my story? That's the reason why I'm like doing this. But these are the casualties of Punjab. Trust is the current casualty of Punjab. And believe me, the reason the book is taking time is because I don't know how to write about mistrust. I don't know. It's not a physical thing. I love Akshay's book, the Gita Press one. I love Josie's book on corruption. And I look at these great non-fictions which came out last year and I'm like, gosh, how will I write about mistrust? It's not a physical thing. But then that's the book that should be written.
Yeah. Talking about mistrust, Punjab is in the midst of its run up to the elections. I know you're talking at mistrust at much deeper level, which is also connected to the question of identity and how the Punjabi identity or the Sikh identity or the non-Sikh Punjabi identity is being molded in various ways. But coming to the practical way this mistrust plays out, you actually mentioned that he said Punjab elections are being fought in the stratosphere because it seems like the issues that are being discussed are totally not from Punjab itself. So can you talk to us about the Punjab elections?
Yeah, they are from Punjab, but they are tokens which seem like issues. Like Punjab is a casualty of 5 casualties. To me, Punjab is 5 battles being waged. The first battle is land. Land is a battle everywhere. And when your land has shrunk, your battle becomes intense. This battle is playing out in villages by Dalits now asserting their right to lands, which is a movement which connects back to what was happening 70 years back. But the national discourse, you see, the Congress party and the Akali Dal, it didn't really talk about this movement, which was the Muzara movement. It was a large communist movement, which happened in Punjab. Naxalism grew in Calcutta, in Bengal, and in Punjab in the 70s. 85 men were killed, no records of them. That's what gave police the impunity to do all these killings in the Punjab militancy phase. Everything has a connection backwards. So land is a big crisis, is a big battle. Water is a huge battle. And it is not SYL. It's not the Satluj Yamuna link canal. In water, again, we stand together. Because the Kaveri is a 140-year-old issue. So the problem with Punjab's water is that both Karnataka, I live in Bangalore, it was in my city that very sadly 42 buses were burned when the recent crisis happened, but the thing is that both Karnataka and Tamil Nadu are riparian states to the river. I know there is a lot of factors going in why this thing can't be solved, but in Punjab's case, neither Haryana nor Rajasthan nor Delhi are riparian states to the waters of Punjab. And yet they get 75% of the water. And still 79% of Punjab's irrigation happens through tube wells. We have rivers flowing through the state, but we are using tube well water to do it, and that's why the water level is falling at the rate of a meter a year. In 25 years, Punjab will be a desert, this land of 5 rivers. The third big battle in Punjab is of text. Text. Because whether it is Sikh text, which is a religion of the book, or is it Islam, or is it the great center that Punjab has been traditionally, the land of the Vedas, the land of Ramayana, Mahabharata, where Panini discovers grammar, where Ayurveda is created, It's been a battle of text. To me personally, it is a huge battle of gender. Because of feudal patriarchal society of Punjab, women have zero public presence. There has not been since independence or even before that a single woman's movement in Punjab. And I needed a Tamil friend to show it to me. She teaches at the Punjab University, and she said, you have never had a woman's movement in Punjab. And yet ask any farmer, in my own family I can tell you, when my aunt died and my uncle's farming collapsed, I asked him why. He said, unless there is a woman in the kitchen, the man cannot do a farm. Because unless somebody is there to cover your back, to run your family, to make your home, you cannot go and do the work that we do. But I said, but then where is the space in the society? Even now, well-educated friends of mine, they still have to get inside home after 8 p.m. in the evening. They know you can't go out, women. This is what that place is. It has the highest female feticide rate in the country. My mother, they all called her mad. Yeah, of course there was a chemical, this thing and all. But one of her big reasons to call her mad was she just wanted share in her father's property. And the society configures it as madness. So this is where women are in Punjab. And yet, today when there's such a focus on the boy child, on this, on the bloodline, on lineage and this and that, it's like my own cousin. She's an adopted daughter actually. And she has come back from the US, never got married, left everything, and taken her parents in and is taking care of them. And like her, there are hundreds of other girls in Punjab doing that. Boys are nowhere, boys are into drugs. So this battle is being fought at the social level. And the fifth battle to me of this Punjab is of sanity. Because as you were asking about the elections, none of these 5 battles go into making the battles which should decide which party should win in the next elections. It's a very strange thing that Punjab has been until now bipolar. Not bipolar as in bipolar, but bipolar polity. There's been Congress and Akalis. This time AAP came in. But the devastation that AAP has done in 1 year of coming there is amazing. You can only see it on the ground. You can't even know it. So I don't know. And the elections are actually on my birthday. So Punjab is going to give me some brilliant gift. My worry is now with all three. Akalis win, their arrogance will know no end. Congress win, it has never treated Punjab well. Historically, it will not in the future. AAP wins, AAP had the most brilliant opportunity to start just when I started 1.5 years back. To understand the issues of Punjab and focus on the real issues. In the interest of winning, they just lost it. And they collected the riffraff of the whole state and they have made this party which is has completely clueless. They have 7 manifestos, all of them hollow. So my worry is that if they win, it will be a disaster for Punjab. And the biggest worry is that if it is a hung verdict, then it's going to be president's rule. Punjab is the only state in the country with the longest president's rule. 1/10 of its time, 7 years out of 70, have been president's rule. Each scenario is a disaster.
It sounds really bleak. The only good thing right now about the Punjab elections is that it happens on Amandeep's birthday. So let's hope he gets a good gift. But going back to I wanted to share this line. He writes this brilliant article. Most of these articles he's written on Punjab are in the Caravan website, where he writes about the farmer's suicide of one particular instant, which is really gut-wrenching. And he talks about political response from all the 3 players, and the AAP actually offers after some 2-3 months that this farmer goes on top of his house and in front of all the police and all the paraphernalia who come to Japti his land. He kills himself, and 2-3 months later Arvind Kejriwal offers to adopt the 2 children of the farmer's brother. And Amandeep actually writes that the AAP has not made it clear what it plans to do with the families of the other farmers who killed themselves. It's a really bleak article, but I really broke out laughing because that's how stupid and insensitive the state's response has been. Even in the case of Tamil Nadu, it's really late, it's really little, and it's really callous that after 160 people kill themselves in 3 months, the government announces 5,400 rupees of compensation and 3 lakhs if you kill yourself. It's almost like saying you better kill yourself. We have this 3 lakh check ready. And that's also for the suicides. In Tamil Nadu, many farmers are actually dying of heart attack. They're just falling off in those fields because a crop is standing and there's no water. And it's really, really distressing. And these people are like what Vallalar actually wrote. This Tamil saint poet. He wrote, Vaadiya pairai kandapodellam vaadugindrene. These people are actually looking at that wilting plant and they're dying and they're falling dead. And the political establishment cannot seem to think beyond that 5,000 rupees of compensation. But going back to the book and Punjab, you spoke about narratives and counter narratives. What's going to be your narrative in the book?
Well, now I was just showing Revathi and I don't know, I like plotting the book, I have written thousands of words, I won't tell you the count because you'll think the book is ready. But it's not making sense to me. I feel that I'm not conveying what I really want to convey. It's the same stories based on travel, stories based on what I see on the ground there, But there has to be a certain angle at which it has to, be shaped in a way in which it can carry the message ahead. It's very recent that I'm really, really thinking that the essential problem of Punjab is its mind and its trust, and it's difficult to, because these are both intangibles, so it's difficult to create a tangible book out of intangible things, which is not really a philosophical treatise or anything. It has to be readable, people should be able to relate. I'm very glad, perversely, not perverse, sorry, but I'm I'm very this is the purpose, like if 449 farmers committed suicide last year in Punjab till the middle of the year. After that, the government stopped publishing data, and like you were saying, farmers are dying out of heart attack, which also comes from grief, and some are committing suicide. In Punjab, anybody who dies, there's a constant war of whether he really committed suicide or he died for money. What kind of a state system it would be where somebody's life is being evaluated whether it has been done for compensation? You have to kick such a system away into oblivion, no? Like how much can you pay for something? If you're paid with your life itself, then where is the question, man? I don't understand the logic of the state governments. You say that I'll commit suicide so that my wife can benefit. Then I also have insurance. Why do I have to commit suicide to do that? If there's an accident, my wife can benefit anyway. It's completely hoax logic. And yet battles are being fought over it. Court cases are going on, whether he really committed suicide or whether he committed suicide. Some years back they deployed psychiatrists to go into Vidarbha to counsel people out of depression. Would psychiatrists solve the economic problems of people? So how the state twists things, and yet people go and vote for them. We were just talking, the Dalit Panchayati land movement people, I was telling Revathi, I said they are saying that they are boycotting the elections. She said, is it a good decision or a bad decision? I said, I don't know. But these are 2 points which have to be seen, well, this was one of the first talks I had with a very, very sincere and hard-working advocate who takes up these cases in Punjab. I said, vote Nota at least, no? Let it get registered that 10% people do not believe in any of them. But their ideology is that the system has to be changed. Voting Nota is still being part of the system. It has to be a revolution. Now that becomes like a left idea, that becomes like a Maoist idea. But it comes from a concern on the ground that this system, whichever party comes in, is not going to look at us. That is why I feel the battle is in the stratosphere.
The slogan is Satta ko badalna hai.
हाँ, सत्ता बदलो सरकार नहीं.
Sarkar nahi.
Change the system, not the government.
The only thing that I found very divergent between Tamil Nadu and Punjab, I shouldn't do this comparing with Tamil Nadu, I know it's very unfair, but because of my knowledge about Tamil Nadu, I am doing this. The thing of the land struggle, the Jalur story that you've written about Dalits fighting for 6.5 acres of land, which is not like Panchami land, because Panchami land is still a colonial thing, whereas there it's post-independence. The Indian government has allocated 1/3 of the Panchayat owned lands for the Dalits and they're fighting for it now. For months together, this village in Jalur keeps up this protest to obtain that 6.5 acres of land. And land, we are told in Tamil Nadu, is not the issue. People are not fighting for land. And actually our SEZs are coming like seamlessly. Nobody is actually protesting them. How do you see this Dalits holding on to land at this point of time where it almost seems like a real estate entity, How do you see that?
No, it's a battle which I really, really support, but I know that it's a hopeless battle, and I'll tell you why. Not because the rights are not in, the rights are there. Punjab's huge problem is the caste I am from, the Jats, the landowning class. And they are such an entitlement driven people. They have been in the polity, they are in the religion, they are everywhere because of land. And the way land goes is that when somebody becomes proper owner of it, then they start exercising power. Very funnily, in another village I was talking to G.N. Devi today morning. We are talking about how did the Roma Sentis go to Europe, and he said, Sher Shah Suri brought land reforms to Punjab in the 15th century, and those who didn't get land, they became wanderers, nomadic tribes, and they moved. I was actually traveling with a Banjara boy, and we reached a village where 27 acres they had got. But within 1 year, the 3 Dalit communities, Mazbis, Valmikis and another community, they divided this 27 acres into 999 acres among themselves because they couldn't get along with each other. And the Banjara boy says to me, Paji, I will still not get land here. So that's the problem with land. But at this stage, it's not only Dalits should get the lands. It's like right from partition, when the Murabba Bandi happened, when the land allocation happened, that has to be sorted out. But land is a stage in the struggle, and it's an important stage. I completely support it.
I think we're coming close to the last question, which has been the fundamental, the core of all your writing, I feel, is about this whole sense of being a Punjabi, being a Sikh, being an Indian, which actually in an article he writes, every Punjabi has to decide what is he first. Is he an Indian? Every Sikh has to decide whether I'm a Sikh first or I'm an Indian first. And there was an interesting conversation that goes on in responses to the articles also, where a very active diaspora is trying to take up a radical position, and people on ground fighting for real issues, and people like you use language. You said very beautifully that language is my art, and Amandeep actually uses language in a very, very, very beautiful way, where he uses heightened language to show the issues from a very, very close perspective, but not judgmental at all. He presents so many things in front of you. So how do you see the central thing of identity? And
I really, that's a lifelong question, I can't really answer it. That's why I invoked blood as the first tie, like blood in my veins, you can't even see it, but it comes from Punjab. But Punjab is perhaps the greatest genetic pool in the world. People came in from wherever and stayed back. So I don't know where to, like Devi sir was saying in the previous Gandhi could have been born anywhere. It's the idea that matters. An idea could also be an identity. I think I'm perennially homeless, and which is okay with me. I have no issues with that. But am I perennially sane or not? Can I make sense of the world around me or not? Do I know how to operate in it or not? Those are larger concerns for me. The color of the skin comes later. The caste I was born in comes later. Somebody beautifully said, a great Sikh scholar, he said, Punjab is actually the apotheosis of Shudra culture. Because there's no Brahmin there anyway. And it is true, the Jats are also Dalits. Just because they got land, they become Jats now. Sandhus are in Pakistan and in India. Siddhus, my mother, is in Pakistan and in India. In Punjab, the Jats started mattering because of land. So it has to start with the land, and there's no...
On that note, because our politics is so entrenched in this Brahmin, I'm like, you don't have the Brahmin, you still have all the problems.
When you didn't have Brahmins, you got Jats. That's how it goes, That's how this division goes, and it will continue. In that small village, Bhopur, it's actually, in Google Maps it shows in Haryana, but it's in Punjab. It's unidentified even on the maps, you don't even know where it stands. Even there now the Valmikis and the Mazhabis are fighting with each other. Hey Baba, you both are oppressed classes. And similarly Punjab is fighting, like Sikhs in this party and that party are fighting each other against a third party, where also they are fighting Sikhs. This is the great, great legacy of thousands of years of colonization on us. But if that had not happened, we would not have happened.
With that, I open the session for questions.
Great. So, Aman, you have talked about the politics of Punjab, you talked about rural Punjab. I would want to know your views on the youth of Punjab presently, how they think. Have you explored that? Because I come from Punjab, I am from Patiala. So I have been in Tamil Nadu for 3 years. So what I have seen here is, if problem comes up in Tamil Nadu, any political or the water problem, I have seen my friends talking about it. But when I go to Punjab, they really don't seem to be talking about it. So have you explored that aspect? I would really want to know your views.
Chittave. Punjab youth, I see very, very vibrant youth in Punjab. You know, for especially Punjab University, Chandigarh, Patiala University, great battles they are fighting, young boys and girls. But the larger Punjabi society is still Kakaji, it's still entitlement driven, it's still because, and 2 generations have not touched the land themselves because the UP, Bihar migrant comes and does the work. But they get their theka, you know. So the larger, the Jat youth or the Hindu youth, they're not really very clued in. They all want to escape abroad and go there and do what? Go there and do what the migrant labor comes here and does. Right?
Everybody was worried about this drug issue now. They say it was just finished for Punjab. And I think, please tell me what do you think? Is it really that huge or we can save it still?
Drugs, ma'am, is never the disease. Drugs is a symptom. You know, somebody is taking drugs because of some reasons. Unless we plug those reasons, we can't finish drugs. AAP and Congress both say in 4 weeks we'll clean up Punjab. Bullshit. They won't. They can't. Punjab traditionally has been using opium and liquor as a lifestyle product. And I'm saying it lifestyle very deliberately because in temperature in Punjab each day changes 25 degrees, you know. It's that erratic a state, it's that hazardous a condition. The summers go to 45 degrees and come down to 10 degrees, you know, or not 15 degrees, you know. Winters again go down to like 1 or 2 degrees and go up to 23, 24 degrees. This much temperature change, this kind of landscape, this kind of work there, because it's all agrarian. It got mechanized only now. Thousands of years it has been agrarian. And the wars and the displacements, these have created a need for some product, opium and liquor. NDPS Act, the Narcotic Act, is like TADA. You know, even if you are a user of a drug, it arrests you and puts you in jail and there is no, you know. 40,000 young boys were at its peak caught in Punjab, put into jails. Among them they found only 2% people who are actually selling drugs. NDPS needs a reform. Nobody has ever died from opium consumption. I'm not saying that make opium available, start selling it in shops, no. But you have to change the categorization of drugs in Punjab. There are the industrially produced drugs, synthetic drugs, which are really, really harmful. And there are naturally produced drugs, which should be utilized through doctor's prescription in a way in which it doesn't cause harm and slowly you wean people away. That is the only way to do it, and there is one MP from Punjab fighting for it from his city, Dr. Gandhi. You know, to me, he actually was from AAP. Punjab has never had a non-Sikh, non-Jat chief minister. If AAP had just held on to Dr. Gandhi, he would have been a face everybody in Punjab would have accepted. But how they marginalize people in the interest of power.
So the biggest drug racket, the mafia, they're supplying drugs to throughout the world, you know, from Punjab. And that's what I read. Yeah.
The opium growing regions are Afghanistan and the Baltic states. You know, Punjab is a channel because of the Afghan war, the Iraq war. You know, so the channels through Europe closed, so they had to start sending it through Punjab. And when you are sending packets, postman will open it, no, sometime or the other. Punjab is just a postman.
We can continue the conversation off the stage. Thank you so much.
I'm here 2 days more.
Yeah.
Thank you, Revathi. This was very good.
Okay, thank you, Aman. Thank you so much.
Amandeep Sandhu is available for book signing outside the auditorium, so you can speak with him there.